we got another video for you guys. Alright guys, so thanks for tuning in again. Today I figured I'd do a different video. Anybody that knows me personally knows I have a new desire to read. I really didn't read that much. If you would have asked me about a year or two ago, I might have read a book a book every 2 years, and I really want to get back to reading because I truly believe in self-education. And right now, I think last year I read 13, 14 books. Might not be that much, but for the average person that reads a book or two a year, that's pretty good. So this year, I'm on a mission to read 40 to 50 books, preferably 48. I think I'm a little behind, but we'll see. So I figured I'd go over 5 books that I personally have read this past year that truly changed how I thought, truly changed my businesses, and truly just encouraged me that I think are good reads. But these generally made the most impact for me. Some are highly recommended by others, and some are just personal picks of mine. Before continuing with this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Looking to grow this channel and just provide insight to others that want to get into entrepreneurship, business, real estate, you name it. Anyway, let's get to the video. So the first book I want to recommend is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. They say about over 2 million copies. I'm sure it's more now have sold. So it's a highly recommended book. The book is written in like biblical text. It's simple but kind of older, not English that we would use now. But it pretty much goes over different parables in each different chapter. Go over, saving 10% of your money and put it to the side, pretty much teaching you to pay yourself no matter what. Talks about putting all the collections and bills and people that you owe into one and paying some for everybody, but pay a little bit more for one so you knock them over time. It just talks about different ways that almost people talk about now, but different strategies you can use to build financial wealth as well as get rid of debt, and just different mindsets that rich people have. So this is highly a recommended book. Like I said, it's kind of confusing sometimes the way they talk in it, and it's in a parable format, but if you can get past that, this is truly a good read. The next book I want to recommend is The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach, or David Bach, I'm not really sure. The reason I like this book is because most people think that they need to win the lottery or get a super expensive paying job. In this book, David talks about how he teaches finance and he comes along different people who become millionaires without making ridiculous salaries. The main thing about this book is that he talks about it doing automatically, meaning, it's kind of hard to save. It's hard for people to change their mindset and make more money. So he teaches you how to become a millionaire automatically without even doing it, making a few steps in the beginning to where over time you accrue money and wealth without making much effort. This is a great book for you because it'll teach you how just simple saving and simple techniques and simple systems you can set up to where maybe when you're 40s or 60s, you have financial wealth. So this is a great book. The next book I want to talk about is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. I hope I'm not butchering his name. This is it looks kind of small, but it's actually kind of a thick book. But the whole ideology behind this book is he talks about how him and his friend grew up and wanted to make money, and he talks about 2 different dads, his poor dad and his rich dad. His poor dad is his real actual dad, which I think is kind of insulting, but his poor dad, I believe, was a teacher or something like that. I can't remember, but he makes a normal salary. His friend was rich, or his dad was rich, so him and his friend went to his friend's dad for help on how to make money, and he calls that his rich dad. It's not really his dad, but it's like a mentor to him as his friend's dad. And he compares how normal society thinks about money and how to make money and their thoughts about money. And he talks about how his rich dad thought about money, and he talks about the lessons his dad taught him over the year. His rich dad taught him over years versus his poor dad's lessons. It's a great book if you want to kind of learn how rich people think. He talks about the lack of good education and how we have to self-educate ourselves, power of mentorship, the ideology that, your home is your biggest asset. I don't really like the style of the book that you got to read the chapter twice with a different interpretation. But if you can get past that, this book has a lot of good knowledge in here. The next book I want to recommend is Sell It Like Sirhan by Ryan Serhant. If you've been subscribed to this channel, or you watch any of my videos, you know I'm a real estate agent. So a lot of real estate agents, when they first get in the game, they watch $1 million listings in New York and LA, and he's one of the major people. But he's one of the top selling realtors in the world. I think he's like the top in New York now. The man knows what he's doing. So he talks about how he got into the business, how he struggled in the beginning, how he gets those big deals. Some of the topics he talks about are the 7 stages of selling. He talks about negotiating, finding your hook, and a lot of other different things. But this is a really good book if you don't know how to sell, if you do want to sell and you want to take your game to the next level. So this last book I want to talk about is probably my favorite book of all 2020, and I'll probably read it again in 2021. It's called This Is Marketing by Seth Godin. Maybe Seth Godin, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. This book is great. First off, the cover, I think it looks, it's simple, but it's like bright and orange, you can't miss it. He talks about the misknowledge and, and just people not having a misunderstanding of what marketing is. The best thing I got out of this book is his thought on marketing and your job as a marketer. He says it's not about making money. Your thing is your job as a marketer is to instill change. So I like that. He talked. You should keep that in mind with anything you're doing. You're building a brand, you're selling a product. You're trying to instill change. And how do you instill change in people that don't know your brand? He compares Nike and Amazon and all these big, Apple, all these major companies. He talks about what they do and how they do it. This is a great book. It's in simple wording. It's really inspiring. Has a lot of good techniques. I almost think it's a lot of psychology in there too, and that's something that I like reading. So this is a must read for anybody in business and marketing, advertising, sales, just young people in general. This is a must read for me. You should definitely go read this book. So there you guys have it. These are my 5 books that I would recommend to any young entrepreneurs, business owners, people in sales, anybody, finance, anybody that wants to make a difference in their business this year. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please, again, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps. I'm looking to come up with more content like this in the future. If there's any other videos that you guys would like me to do, please just comment or DM me on Instagram, which is David M. Justice. But I'm looking to just come out with a bunch of helpful content this year. So I appreciate it. Till next time.